Hey, it's Joy. I've got big feelings about little things, and I want to talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm mad about it. And the fact that everyone else is not up in arms about it is a big part of the problem. Oh, I bawled my eyes out, like I always do. It was the sweetest thing. Oh, it was the cutest thing. It was the funniest thing. Thanks for being here. Let's go. Hey, thanks so much for being here. My name's Joy. I've got big feelings about little things, and this week, my big feelings are about my watch list. My watch list, meaning what is on, quote unquote, my list on Netflix, on Hulu, on Apple, on Prime. You know, a lot of jokes coming through right now about how we're getting to the point where there's so many different random streaming services here and there. When is someone going to come back around and recreate cable and say, okay, we're joining all the streaming services together and here they're going to be on one platform and you pay for. Honestly, as much as that would irritate me, I'm also fine with it because I'm so tired of being like, what streaming service am I even on right now? What am I even trying to watch? What am I even feeling like? And I'm the worst, and the best about just spending a ton of time going through what's available. Add that to my list. Add that to my list. Add that to my, ooh, I want to watch that. Ooh, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. I want to watch that. I want to watch everything because I want to know what happened and I want to be able to talk to somebody about it. I have really big feelings about connecting, especially over stuff that I love. Great television shows, great finales, awesome movies, thought-provoking stuff. I love to say like, oh, did you watch so-and-so? Yes, I love it. And I so appreciate people reaching out to me and saying, hey, have you watched so-and-so? You'd love it. But all that does is add something else to my list. And right now I'm feeling like I just need to be done with that. That like, hey, if you got some advice for me, I will definitely take it. But I can't lie to you anymore and say it's on my list. I mean, it's on my list, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to watch it. So much comes and goes that I never get done because my list is so long and there's so much good stuff out there. And honestly, I think what I'm really getting to and what I'm really needing to make personal peace with, personal peace with the fact that anything before this year, I'm not going to watch it. You know, if I have not found a way or found some time or carved out 2 hours or accidentally come across the usual suspects by now, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And I already hear you. Out there, but it's so good. But you have so many references to it in pop culture now. It's so good. It's worth it. You would love it. Hey, I'm sure I would. That's why it's been on my list all these years. But my list is getting out of control. And I don't have the hours that it would take to get caught up on that. And the further back we get from something, the higher the risk that runs that it's not really connecting like it used to. You know what I mean? For years and years and years, I worked with this old guy. I mean, he's like, I was in my 20s, so he's probably my age right now. And I thought he was so old. But he's like, oh, you got to watch Blazing Saddles. It's classic. You'd love it. It's classic. You love it. And I was like, okay, whatever. Great. Okay, perfect. I didn't care. You know, I was like trying to watch American Idol. Okay, fine. I'll watch it. The other day, it was on a streaming, and I popped it in for like 2 minutes. It is unwatchable. It is unwatchable. Like, I immediately not only stopped watching it, I had to delete it from my just watched list in case someone comes over and it's like, what are you watching? What are you watching there? I mean, it's horrific. It's unwatchable. It's unwatchable. And I'm afraid that more things will get like that as time goes along. Even the ones that are still appropriate to this day, or I mean, I'm assuming it is, but like, I would love to watch MASH. People from the boomer generation talk about that all the time. It was so great. It was like this huge finale that everybody watched. It's not going to happen. None of this is going to happen. I mean, I can't even go back to the first season of Grey's Anatomy anymore. I got to move on. I got to get into what's current. Because here's the thing. Already, we have lost that thing where, hey, at least a third of us or a quarter of us were watching so-and-so last night. When things were a little bit smaller and there was less to listen to or less to watch, it's not like we definitely watched the same thing. But the chances that we both watched Friends last night or we both watched Seinfeld last night, pretty high. And then we can talk about it the next day and we can process it. We can learn, we can this and that. And we can laugh together and we can make jokes. Today, the chance that we both watched the same thing last night is like 0.5%. So that's why I'm trying to trim my list down so at least maybe I can hit something that's on the top 10 of Netflix. So my chances of having something that we can talk about is higher. From 0.5% to maybe 1%? Did I get up to 1%? That's all I'm trying to get to. Like, I would love to go back to those days where we can talk about it. Instead of like, well, I'm one of 14 people watching this and I have to go to a very specific podcast and a very specific TikTok channel. Sorry, I'm old. It took me a minute to get to channel. I was like, is it a TikTok thread? What is it? God bless me. But I want to broaden that a little bit. And so the best way for me to broaden is to say, like, anything before this, I got to let it go. I got to let it go. And, I think that we as a society also need to just kind of let go if there's something very popular that someone hasn't seen. And we fall out of our chair. I can't believe you haven't seen that. I can't believe it. And I'm the worst offender. I'm talking to myself here. I'm like, you've never seen The Little Mermaid? What? You don't know who Flounder is? You don't understand why I used to be like very pro Ariel and now I'm like, Dad, you're making some sense over here. You don't follow any of that. Under the Sea, Kiss the Girl, blah, blah. None of that. Disney, don't come after me. I love you. I used to be bad about that. Now I'm just going to be like, hey, go in peace. Go in peace. Love you. Mean it. I haven't seen The Usual Suspects. Okay. I just follow the jokes because I've heard them for such a long time. All the references. Kevin Spacey, like, okay, we're cool. I got you, babe. I got you. We're going to all just go in peace. You've seen what you've seen. I've seen what I've seen. You're going to see what you're going to see. I'm going to see what I'm going to see. And let's just be at peace with it. Okay? That's me talking to myself, guys. So the other reason I really want to make this change in our society is because I'm getting out of the recommendation game. Okay? Probably bad timing since I just started a podcast and I'm begging people to sponsor this and then I'm going to turn back around and recommend it. I don't want to hear it. But I'm getting out of the personal recommendation game of you have to see this movie, you have to watch this show, you have to try this product, you have to wear this. Okay, so I'll tell you to try products, but I'm out. I'm out on telling you to watch something because one of my friends at work, I was like, oh, you got to watch so-and-so. I watched it last night. We're the same age. We would get the same references. You'd love it. He said, is it 2 hours of my life I'm not going to get back? Ugh. Yeah, actually, either way, even if you love it, you're never getting those 2 hours back. So yeah, you're correct. You're not getting those hours back. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it in person. I don't want to hear it on a text. I don't want to see your eyes roll if it was not the best thing you've ever seen. So yeah, I'm out of the recommending game. unless you hear me do a commercial, I will mean it, and it will be the best thing you've ever tried. So I'm done. I'm out on that. And I am also like so bummed about constantly trying all these things that Instagram sells me. And only about half the time at working out, and then me just being like way too lazy to try to return it somehow because it didn't come from Amazon. And so that's just money down the drain. Guys, recommending is fine, but just do it with a grain of salt. Throw a little salt at it. Hey, if you're into something, here you go. Or you know what? People literally ask all the time. I see it on Facebook. Let me just name one more social media thing. I see it on Facebook all the time. Hey guys, I'm in a show hole. What should I watch? That person wants your recommendations. Seek that out. They're actually everywhere. I see it all the time. And then you'll get a range from, the Gilded Age to the Game of Thrones and everything in between. Love is Blind and the whole 9 yards. So you want a recommendation? All you got to do is ask. And if you want to give a recommendation, all you got to do is look for that person. They are very much ready and willing and wanting. So you can just go down your little list. Number 1, number 2, number 3. There you go. And they won't say ugly things back to you like, is this 2 hours of my life I'm not going to get back? Because everything is 2 hours of your life you're not going to get back. Love you, David.
Thanks for listening to Little Things, Big Feelings with Joy Delaney. I'm James, the producer, editor, director, and executive producer. Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Honestly, forget TikTok. I don't even know how to use it
You
anyway.
don't know how to use it anyway.
James?
Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram and Facebook. See you next week.